Welcome, everybody, to another episode of REGrowth Agency Value Bombs. We're going to be dropping some value here for everybody. Thank you so much for joining us and watching this video. Today, I have with me my good friend and business partner, Julio. Julio, what's up, everybody? Say what's up to everybody.
What's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up, Julio? How's everything, bro?
Everything's going super, super well. Today we do have some content planned for everybody, and it was going to be about email funnels and email automation, but we were talking about that, and I really think we should talk about the types of traffic that we have. I'm a little bit confused about it. I know you know it really, really well, and so we can start off by talking about the three types of traffic we have: traffic that we own, traffic that we earn, and traffic that we control. So, Esteban, can you go into the details maybe of the traffic that we earn?
All right, so first I got to give credit where credit is due. None of this is stuff that is from me only. I mean, I've been a digital marketer now for 12 years, but recently I've been studying this book. Everybody knows. And I've been studying this. I'm letting everybody know because I want my customers and my clients to practice proper digital marketing. And proper digital marketing, when you do it right, is a science. It's a science, and you can actually predict outcomes if you do it right. And that's one of the difference between being an expert marketer and just being a marketer in general, because anybody can be a marketer. But if you haven't spent time studying the science of marketing, what you end up doing is you become a scientist. You start recreating the experiments and you start recreating the wheel. So you're just doing science projects that other people before you have already done, and it might take you years to get to the same discoveries, right? So one of the things that one of my mentor teaches, and this is Tony Robbins, a lot of people know who Tony is. He teaches that instead of recreating the wheel, find someone who's successful at what you currently want to do, right? Find out what they're doing and then model what they're doing. It's called modeling. What a concept, right? It's a simple concept where you're basically copying a strategy. Now, I'm not telling people here that they should go out and copy exact, data from people and the exact way they're doing it. Obviously, you got to be smart about it. You want to put your flavor in it and your spirit into the project, but you want to model what works, right? Does that make sense, Julio?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, about modeling what works. And that's exactly what we do, is that we take what is working and we make sure to implement those results out.
Exactly. So let's dive into it. So the first, there's three types of traffic, right? So we have, I'm just going to read from the book. We have traffic that you control. That's one. Traffic that you earn, and then traffic that you own. And then he starts out in the book talking about the traffic that you own. So what is traffic that you own? That's the traffic that you've built a list on. So let's talk about list building for a moment. I remember when I got into list building, Julio, I this was 10 years ago. I was listening to a guy named Mike Koenigs. A lot of people know who he is. A lot of people don't know who he is. So Mike Koenigs was the first person. He was the one that used to say all the time, the riches are in the niches, right? That was his saying. And then the other thing is, you got to build your list. And he would drill that over and over and over again. And the purpose of having a landing page, right, or a funnel or a squeeze page, the whole purpose of all of that is so that you can build a list. Now, hopefully people that are opting into your list, they're liking your ads and they're liking what you're promising, right? Whatever it is that you're offering, right? You're offering some sort of value in exchange for their information. And this value that you're giving them means a lot to them, which is why they will trust and give you potentially their name and their email address, right? So what do you do with that list at the end? That's the question. Is now I got all these email addresses. Those email addresses that you get, no matter how you got them, once you get them, you own them. So that's the traffic that you own, because you can build a new funnel, and then you can take that list that's interested on something that you know they're interested on, right? And you can build a funnel to cater to that list. And then all you got to do is send them a message anytime you want them to potentially buy from you and lead them through that funnel. And you don't have to pay for an advertising because you already own the list. You don't have to run ads. You don't have to do anything. The only thing you have to do is prepare a very well done sales process through building a really nice funnel. And then you take them through that process. And if they like what you have to offer, they will buy from you. If you have a list, and you can build lists. I mean, I have lists of all kinds of things that I send messages to. I have one for well, I don't really want to say because some of these lists are confidential, right? So I share some of these lists with other people, right? So I won't share, but they're so unique, is what I'm saying. I'll share one that I could talk about. I have one for my martial arts community, right? So I have one there, and I create value content, and then when I want people to watch my content, all I do is send them a message, say, "Hey, I just created a new video, check it out." See, and I get massive views just for doing that. You get what I'm saying? So you can you control the.
I'm thinking of an example. Yeah, I'm thinking of an example where I'll send out an email campaign, right? It'll be a campaign to get people into a webinar. And we'll send it out the first time, and only a handful of people sign up. You know, the timing, people are busy, whatever, that's totally normal. So we send it out multiple times at opportune times to make sure that we get that webinar filled up. And I feel like it's it's exactly what we're talking about here, where we own that traffic essentially. We don't have to pay more for that traffic to get in through the funnel, and it brings value to people that way.
Right. And this is why I love funnels so much, is because it gives you the ability, it gives anyone the ability to start building a list. And that's the whole purpose of having a basic funnel or a squeeze page is so that you can start building your list of potential customers. Now, before even going into customers, you want to build relationships. You want to build a relationship with your fan base, with people that like what you put out. They like the type of content. So as a business, if you're a local business in your community, you have to start thinking of ways where you can give to your community. I call them giveaways. What are you going to give before they even consider buying or hiring you, right? Because if you're not giving some of your best stuff out there, and again, this is 10 years ago, Mike Koenigs used to drill this. He used to say, you need to be answering the questions people are asking. You need to be answering the questions people should be asking, because people are going to begin to know, like, and trust you when you do that. This is why I'm huge on FAQs and SAQs. You got to be putting out content where people are asking questions, and you're the one answering the questions people are asking, right? Because then you can lead them to your funnel, and they'll give you their information because now they trust you on whatever topic. So this works for any industry, any business. It doesn't matter. Any business that is constantly answering questions people are asking, they will eventually build a list of people that are going to want to potentially hire them.
And that list is such a valuable asset, because when you want to sell a product, when you want to sell a service, when you want to brand yourself, get your name out there and all that stuff, what usually we think of is Google ads, Facebook ads. You got to somehow pay for the traffic to come in. But once you have that list, imagine you have a list of 1,000 people that you know are warm leads, right? People that are already kind of interested in the solution you have to offer. It is so much easier to monetize that, because you can not only first of all show your product, but also then you just show them an offer. You start to show your product and your services at an offer that is only going to be available for them. And it's a lot easier to make them convert that way than to find cold audiences on Facebook and Google to convert.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with paying for traffic. Let's get into that right now. Now that you bring that up. Traffic that you control is paid traffic. This is where you're basically paying Facebook, Google, or whatever platform you like, and you're creating an ad and you're paying per click. You're targeting an audience and you're paying. You control the traffic that sees your ad, right? And then from that ad, you're leading them hopefully to a funnel where you can potentially start to own a list or build a list, right? So that's traffic that you control. Now, traffic that you earn, this is like shout outs, right? This is like people that's heard of you and they talk about you on social media, right? Or even on it could be on the radio, or it could locally. It could be someone, it could be a referral.
Testimonials, word of mouth
It could be
type stuff.
a testimonial, word of mouth. This is, you've earned the right to be spoken of because you've given value to someone, and that someone is now talking about you. So you didn't pay for that necessarily. Maybe you originally paid for that traffic, but now you earned them, right? So when you earn, you can guide them to a page. You see, so that's traffic that you earn, and he gives an example on that, and I want to, you could create, creating a hub. It's so important as a business for you to have a hub, a place where people can come in and you're giving them something. You got to start thinking as a business owner, what are you going to give away? What are you going to give away? Because, everyone is going to opt in if you give something of value, something that's worth that is worth something to them. If we don't come to terms with this giving thing, Grant Cardone, who I worked for 6 months, right? He spoke about give, give, give. That was one of his messages. You always got to be giving, 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 right? Before you ask for something, you got to give 10, 20, 30 times. And then you can say, hey, by the way, I have this offer, of something that I would like you to join. But you've given them now so much value that doesn't matter. At that point, they're like, yeah, of course. If they're qualified, they're going to buy from you. So that's basically the message for today, Julio. Thank you so much for hopping on with me here today. So let's do a quick recap. Let's see, what did you get out of it?
Sure. My immediate and kind of initial takeaway that I wanted to bring up here as we wrap up is kind of that, do we have to start with paper and traffic that we own? We have to get traffic first that we control. And that controlled traffic is usually paid. So do we always have to start with paid traffic?
Oh, that's a great question. I think there's so many ways to get traffic. One way to get it, is if you're a local business owner, one way to get traffic without having to pay for it, right, is by having a Google My Business listing. If you have a Google My Business listing, now we're talking about SEO and stuff like this. But if you're a local business, right, if you own a business in a city, Google will give you a listing. You claim that listing, and then you put a link in there, and that link should lead people to a funnel, right? And whoever finds you organically, which means they did a search and you showed up and they clicked on your Google Maps, and then maybe they go to your website, maybe, because that's changing a lot too. People are just picking up the phone and calling right away, or just pushing a button and calling. But sometimes they do click on that. And there's ways to get free traffic, right? But if you're starting from zero, one of the best ways to start building a list is through paid campaigns. I believe in that.
Yeah,
I totally believe in that. Get a good media buyer, by the way, that can target the right avatar. You need to be so clear on your avatar before you start running ads, because otherwise you're just throwing a whole bunch of ads against an audience you don't even know. So, go ahead.
On top of that also is, yes, there's a lot of research that goes into before you start running ads, right? And part of that is the implementation and kind of setting up the foundation on your pages. So when you do run ads and people start clicking on your stuff, they start researching you, start looking through and saying, hey, do I want to buy from this person? Everything is already set up. It's nice and pretty. You got your posts, you got your links in the right places. The point I want to get at is, before running ads, there's a lot of little things you got to do to make sure you've already optimized the traffic that you're already getting organically. And
right.
Then you can run ads, and it's a lot more scalable. It's a lot easier to get results that way.
Right. Listen, otherwise you're just going to be doing a science project. Just remember that. And you're paying for the science project.
You're paying, right?
That's it, man. All I'm trying to say here is understand the three types of traffic. If you have zero lists, if you don't own any traffic, meaning you don't have a list of people that are interested on a specific niche, right? So let's say your niche category, and then you have 100 people on that list. Well, now you have a list of 100 people that you can create offers, services, and products for that category, right? so you can start sending them messages and stuff like that, right? So that's all I'm saying. Those are the the traffic that you own, the traffic that you pay for, and you can pay for traffic and build your list that way. And then there's also the traffic that you earn. This is people that you've already serviced, or people that are happy with you, or they know about you, and they say, "Oh yeah, the expert in that is that person, is that guy right there." Because every time I think of that niche, that guy always comes up, right? So you want to be that guy or gal in your community, right? You want to be the person that people think about when they're thinking about your products and services. You want to be that person. Oh, she's always the one that comes up. I've seen some videos about her when I do a search or whatever, right? So traffic, that's important. Build your list. Build your list. As a business, you should have a list of email addresses and phone numbers, because your list is what makes you money. And you need to have a list so that you can always target that list. And in fact, you can use lists to create something called a lookalike list inside of Facebook. So, because Facebook will analyze the list of people, and they're on Facebook, you can say, I want people like this to see my next ad. And Facebook will take your lookalike list and analyze it and target people that look like the people on your list. Isn't that crazy, Julio?
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. A lot of tools we have in our tool belt as digital marketers.
Yeah. So again, let's wrap it up here. I think this was a great call. Thank you everybody so much for hearing us out here. We hope we provided value to you. We are creating a series here on Russell Brunson's book, .com Secrets. This is our opinion about it. He's not paying us for this. I don't make any money talking about his book. It's just great content and great information that people should be aware of. And I hope that you're getting value out of it. And yeah, comment on this. I would love to hear your feedback on these topics. So thank you again. This is Esteban with REGrowth Agency. And until the next video, our next video will be published on Friday. We're going live again on Friday. So we look forward to producing more valuable content for you and to hearing from your comments and your feedback. We are out.